is this is old, but we've been talking about Steven Crowder a lot lately, and I said I wasn't going to talk about him again, but then this came up and I didn't know this existed, so I have to because it's fucking funny. So we're going to start by watching an old clip wherein he is trying to debate Amy Schumer, of all people, and he gets fucking owned, right? And then I'm going to read you some text messages from the host of this show talking about Steven Crowder. Okay. So this is Gutfeld. Is that what his name is?
Something really strong. I speak not of polydent, but of abstinence. At least according to a young man named Steven Crowder. Who's he? Who argues in his latest call that abstinence is kind of awesome. Crowder muses on why abstinence remains a punchline despite offering plenty of benefits to being friends.
Why does he love being sexless so much?
Leads to approximately 0 STDs, or studies that show, at least in successful marriages, it's the unbeatable bond of trust that's the real prize. Yes, says Crowder, there's no more worrying about your significant other cheating on you because partners can be supremely confident in their respective self-control, unlike the inventors of the new South American butt dance. That is just unusual.
I think you got a concussion.
That'll put me off sex forever. Steve, here's my question.
What?
It's admirable. When do you stop? When do you stop with the abstinence? How will you know it's time?
Well, once you have a ring on your finger, obviously. The only way to know for sure is once you're married. And, of course, it's this. People know I'm a Christian.
God, this is so funny to me. This is so funny to me because it's like, how do you just... It's like he's such a fucking loser that he's like a proud virgin. It's like, dude, you're so unbearable. Nobody likes you, dude.
All pushing faith in anybody. He's just talking about the actual benefits. If you really want to argue for abstinence, you can stop the argument and be abstinent, don't get sick and die.
Yeah.
But, I can say from personal experience that it does build a bond of trust. Constantly you hear women, how often do you hear, well, don't you trust me? It's like, no, you slept with me on the first date. So, of course, I don't trust you.
It's that whole thing like I wouldn't join a club that would let me into that club.
Right.
It's, she's going to sleep with me, then she'll sleep
Usually
with
because I'm
anybody.
Canadian. They won't let me in.
Yeah.
Except for Canadian Club Ginger Ale.
Amy, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yes, but also, if I sleep with a guy on the first date, usually if a guy holds my hand, he's going to wind up. So here's the thing. I don't think that women should use sex as a bargaining chip, and a lot of them do. If I want to sleep with someone, I do it, and I am a monogamous slut. Can I say that on air?
Yeah, I think you can.
Great.
That's not what we're worried about.
But what I'm saying is, I have a higher risk of disease. I also have a much higher risk of fun.
No, I'm not saying that. You don't think it should be used as a bargaining tool.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as it's
so quiet.
The point of the column is that abstinence is the one taboo issue regarding sex. I mean, it's like, oh, be a dirty stand-up comic. You're cracking new ground there, Copernicus. But once you talk about abstinence, everyone all of a sudden, they put you, like, right now, we have to talk about it. Because who is this kid who's talking about abstinence
Well, it's who's this kid who's, 23. You don't know who you're going to be sexually yet. So to talk about it with such authority and arrogance.
I don't know who I'm going to be what?
You don't know who you're
Yeah,
going to be.
true hustle
You're
punk.
going to be into really weird things in about a decade.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt. Yeah.
Trust me. And the thing is,
But I really do want to do.
But there should be no confidence. You slip by the dirty comedian thing, but honestly, you call yourself a comedian, but you don't do it that much. Like, I go fishing a couple times a year, but I don't introduce myself on TV as a fisherman.
Wow. Well, it's not really personal for a concept about abstinence. I'm saying
No,
the whole
but what I'm
point
saying
of
is
it.
there's
Someone
no
gets on
way.
the stage, you talk about the column.
It's so it's so funny because he talks about being a comedian all the time, and she's just like she's owning it. I don't even like Amy Schumer, but she's fucking owning him.
Anything dirty that they want, but the second you mention abstinence, people, they pucker with discomfort, like, oh no, we can't talk about this, and you're vilified as judgmental.
Just not
Statistically,
People aren't afraid of talking about abstinence. They just think it's weird. They think you're weird, dude.
it's the healthiest thing to do. It is conducive towards a better marriage by a 25% spread, both physically.
It only takes that one person, though, and there's no contract that the person's not going to cheat on you because they're abstinent. She could fall in love with somebody else.
Well, actually, there is a contract. That's what a marriage is. It's a contract.
It's a contract that more than 60% of people break.
No, actually, that's not true. Actually, if you can look at the new U.S. Census Bureau statistics, more than 70% of first-time marriages last.
Okay, but then the guy goes off and sleeps with a young boy.
Well,
good.
Yeah,
you guys stayed married, but then there's infidelity.
Well, once you bring out the statistics that guys are running around rampantly sleeping with young boys,
First of all, I'm not a boy. I know I have characteristics as such.
All I'm saying is yes, you're right. Of course, it is way safer to not have sex, but yeah, but
So true.
Maybe they've had sex with one person. It only takes that one. I've probably had sex with, I don't know, a baker's 2 dozen. You know? And it's fine.
You had sex with Mike Baker? He is happily married. He is thus proving your point.
He's hot. All I'm saying is not cheating with your contract.
You're abstinent, but not by choice.
No.
He's bought me some absinthe because we've been practicing abstinence. But you bought absinthe for us to share, and then
I thought it would lighten the mood and maybe get you naked.
Yeah.
Didn't either. Lots of vomiting. I actually.
These guys are so. These guys are so painfully unfunny, dude. It's like, who are these people? Who are you?
Even though I'm not as absent by choice.
What's up, Dirty Grov Rips? Welcome in, buddy.
Teardrop. I thought it was a great column, and I thought he made some very good points. And there is a point to be made about how the fact that really the only taboo left is this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing left that'll get your shock factor up.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, you know what? Your mom always said, Imogen, your mom always said, if you want respect, don't put out.
Exactly.
So there is, I mean, it's something that's handed down, and until you have kids, you might find yourself saying that.
And I do put it in my book. It's gone around the world, and I do on one level.
You should send pics of the of your swag in the Discord. I'd love to see.
We'll talk a bit about abstinence, but more like a few dates. I'm not saying act like someone out of Jersey Shore if you want a long-standing relationship. I do put that top tip in my book. Yeah.
That's the thing, like lack of abstinence is directly linked to really good abs. That's the problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
That is true.
I've got a beer gut.
But I have to say, my last 3 relationships, which each lasted between 2 to 5 years, we slept with each other almost immediately. Mm-hmm. And it's because I knew that I wanted to be with them, you know?
Except that
why'd you kill them?
Except at the 5-year mark.
Yeah, but so what? At least I figured it out, and I didn't get married and spend my life with somebody that I hate.
But statistically,
And I
that's
had a great
unrealistic.
plan.
Statistically, that's wrong.
This is so funny watching it in retrospect because Steven Crowder is now a divorced dad. He's like, haha, El Bozo, you guys broke up. And she's like, yeah, I figured it out before I got married. That's good to do. And he's like, statistically, that's wrong. It's like, okay, well, then you were a statistical anomaly, Steven.
I mean, if you want to disregard stats,
Statistically, what's wrong?
Statistically, 87% of people who wait until they're married are happier, and 52% aren't. And the same thing that you can look at the Social Organization of Sexuality. These are not Christian-funded
How do you have
studies.
statistics on people's happiness?
You tell them, are you happy?
Are
you
they?
emotionally
They're at
satisfied?
church smiling?
No, you can say, are you emotionally satisfied in your marriage? Yes, no. By a 25% spread, both spouses who are virgins, yes. Are you sexually satisfied in your marriage? Yes. Is it difficult for you to achieve orgasm?
Why would people have to be honest
It's
about
all
their
the
emotions?
sources are listed in the column. Every single source listed. These are things that have been used by the Kinsey Institute.
What I'm saying is, who cares what they said? A lot of people say they have happy marriages, even in therapy, when they're miserable.
So the 25 points.
She's reading him so hard right now. She's reading future him so hard. It's so funny because she's talking about him. That happened to him. Do you think he lies awake at night thinking about this?
Spread doesn't matter because only the people who will be lying would be the people who are abstinent.
I just don't know any happily married people.
Speaking of statistics,
I don't.
let's get back to my plight.
What?
Statistically, 100% of these women are not calling me back.
That is true.
Nobody's reading my column, if you catch my drift, Greg.
Yes.
So call me, ladies.
Yes, exactly. Maybe you should have done the column on abstinence.
Thank you.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the headline would have been sad face.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry that got so heated.
Oh, hell yeah, Grov Rips.
I just want to say that I read the blog, and it did come across to me like you ended it by saying no judgments, but it definitely felt very judgmental.
Of course, and the column was written about the reaction from people like you who the second you talk about abstinence get upset. So, thank you.
Well, people like me who are almost 10 years older than you and know what it's like to live life and not just have all these morals with no life experience.
Right, I had no life experience. That is true.
I'm sorry, but somebody who works a little bit of the Christian comedy circuit.
The Christian comedy circuit? What just happened?
The irony is...
Steven Crowder impression, please. Oh, he's so hard to do because he's just like a normal guy. Statistically, 100% of people who are married are not divorced and are not dads. And if it was legal in the state of Texas, I would keep my wife with me and I would be happy. statistically, one out of every one Steven Crowder is a divorced dad. I don't know. That's the best I could do. What does that sound clip? Like, no, that doesn't work either. From his argument video.
Longest debate we've ever had on Red Eye.
It is.
In
And the irony
years.
The irony is they make them very sexy too.
Yeah.
Really good.
I like
Almost as
Steven.
sexy as,
I think
Lloyd
he's
Long.
smart. No, I think you're smart. You're young, and
See what I'm saying,
you're
Greg?
great.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Well, you were wrong on all those counts. I know those
This
things.
was all a ploy to pick you up, by the way.
Oh, I'm flirting. This is me flirting. Is it working?
She spat on me during the commercial break. Which means
That's
she
my
likes me.
thing. That's what I do.
So, do you have a comment on the show? Email.
Anyways, there is Amy Schumer eviscerating Steven Crowder on Greg Gutfeld's show. The reason why I show you that is not only because it's hilarious, you love to see it, it's also because that is when Steven was working at Fox News. Now, I have some text messages to show you of Greg Gutfeld. Whoa! Thank you for the bits, Will. I appreciate you, buddy. I have some text messages from Greg Gutfeld, host of that show, talking about how he felt about Steven Crowder at that time. Okay? So let's read these. Let's read these really quick. His musical thing was so painful, I wanted to cry for his family. And he's in love with his body. Me thinks he's got an issue with his sexuality, which is fine. And then I think it's Vic Berger who he's messaging. Yeah, any chance he can get, he's shirtless or in drag, tight yoga pants. But it's so obvious to everyone but him, which is usually the truth. Yes, he's always like a Chippendale. And he was only at Fox News Company for like 6 months. We all hated him. And he acts like he was a badass who left Fox News. No, none of us could stand him. Which would be cool if it wasn't him. He wants to be a star and hates everyone who took that risk and he didn't. He calls himself a comedian but doesn't perform. That's how the Schumer thing started. I would not let him call himself a comedian on my show, and Amy knew that. I hated him for saying he performs. Hi. Hello. No, he wouldn't. He has issues. I met him at a bar once, and he sat Indian style on the floor in the middle of a crowded bar. He also, no joke, ordered milk. I have read this over in my head like 20 times today, and every single time it cracked me up. Imagining Steven Crowder sitting crisscross in the middle of a really crowded bar with a glass of milk. Oh my God. That's exactly what, that's how, why does he make it so easy for people? It's so funny, dude. And there's still time for Crowder to grow up when he finally comes out and marries his personal trainer, says Greg Gutfeld. That's so fucking funny. Just crisscross with a cup of milk. Oh my God. Yeah, I thought we'd get a little kick out of that. We love to clown on Steven Crowder because it is good. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up the live playlist. I think that's about all of the serious stuff. What the fuck is this? I sent you a relevant meme in Discord. Okay, sick. Yeah, let's just do this. Christian couple maintains abstinence through first 2 years of marriage. Oh no, come on. Why? John and Darla Crocker, who dutifully abstained from sex during their 14-month courtship, have remained abstinent after marriage and plan to do so indefinitely. If it was holy before, it must be double holy afterwards, Darla says. They have now completed 25 months of marriage without any sexual contact, going about their normal lives, jobs, and social calendar with no hint of a relational strain. Sometimes after dinner, they will kiss in the kitchen and start having bedroom thoughts, Darla says, but they never fail to pull back. Darla breaks away to spray cool, misted water on her face. John eats a whole raw potato to take himself out of the mood. Oh. Oh my God, that's so funny. Why?